Class is in session. The Brofessor is in. What's happening, y'all? We have Logan Paul, a chaotic acrobat, the ultimate disruptor. He's going to be our chase character for the weekend. As always, I don't get to keep the character. Scobly will remove it. It is only here for preview purposes. He is a coach, and if you like sub moves, this is the coach that you're going to want. At 26K, subs do, and any color subs do 50% more for one turn and adds another turn. 50% more per turn and adds another turn on top of that. So if you got a double sub person, like the newest version of Cody Rhodes, then that is a beautiful coach. And anybody else, maybe a Molly Holly on the women's side, that does that kind of stuff. Only the Modern Era Link. He has no other gear bonuses. We're going to probably change around a few plates, but for the first moveset, which I think is the best moveset, and I think he only has one good enough moveset. I don't think anything that he does is actually really good. We're going to put on Fury 2s, and we're just going to leave these on here. We are going to put an All Hearts plate to go with the Piper plate. So for the All Hearts plate, anytime we do the submission, we're going to use it for the purple gem damage for 2 turns at 100%. And you got the Piper plate on there. Anytime you make 4 or more pyros, increase all your gem damage by 100%. We don't make yellows, so that second part of it doesn't apply here. So the first moveset that we're going to use for Logan Paul, we are going to use the figure 4 leg lock. We're going to generate 42 random sub gems. They're going to do 250 or so K for 4 turns, and they're going to make multiply gems into strength 4. We're then going to do the dodge strike combo. It's another 6 MP. We're going to choose 7 gems to make into blue. And last, the corner dodge chops. We're going to make 6 random multiplies into pyro. And this is the big problem with the moveset, is the randomness of it. But everything above it is going to be made into purple. On paper, looks good. In practice, not so much. We shall run this with more MP coming from Woods. You only need the single MP trainer for it. We're going to put Matt on for extra strength. Purple gems are going to do more with Motu Ray. And if we put in Zombie Dom, then we can get ourselves 3 more Choose Blue gems on the other side of it. So let's go take on AJ Styles and see what we think. The intro looks cool. Drinks his drink, throws his bottle, and we get into the match. I'm going to leave it on 2 times speed just because it makes it go faster. So first move, throw down this sub, make 42 of them into 4 turns. You can buff out the sub at 6-star bronze. It maxes out at about 450k a turn. You can probably get it higher if you wanted to. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to make 6 randoms into pyro gems. And you can see that at any given time, you could have 2 in one row. We had 1 at the second of the top row, so that doesn't help us with pyro gems. We got lucky to have 1 at the bottom, but more often than not, they're going to be located somewhere in this area, and this is usually the least helpful for our purposes. And now what we got to do is try to break them and break as many of them as we possibly can. So there's those 3. There's those. And we can break these. Try to get 3 or 4 rows turned into purples. And so that did about 6 million damage. That is including having the All Hearts plate go off. And so we'll break that up again. Maybe. There we go. And then you got to do it again, right? So this is turn 3, or the first move of cycle 2, and we have to do the same sort of again. You can control the board this way. You can control your opponent. You got your sub going off on turn 1. It's 4 turns. But they might break a lot of those 42 gems. So as you can see, we don't have a ton of them left, but they're closer to the bottom. So we have a good chance of getting our pyro gems closer to the bottom. But check that out. Of the 6 that went down, 3 are in one row, 0 of them are in this bottom row, meaning that we've lost a lot of the multiplies that we're going to use on them. But if it did land on them, 490k for those ones, 81k for the other purple gems that we're going to do some damage with. And so we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, we want to go the other way. There we go. Putting blue gems also on the board. You can try to blow up bottom parts of things, but it's going to hit for around this. This one hit for even less. So second cycle in, we hit for 4 million because he pinned us. If he hadn't pinned us, it would have been a greater hit. But even still, on the second turnaround, it's usually about 7 or 7.5 million at 6 bronze. So you might be looking at 15 million the second cycle through. And you got to be asking yourselves, well, isn't that a lot of stuff to put on somebody for that? And the answer is yes. All right, so the next moveset, we're actually going to bring in a couple of things. We're going to bring in a pyro plate so we can make some more damage off of multiply gems. So anytime we make 6 or more, we're going to increase our blue gem damage by 50% for 2 turns. So that's going to be helpful. If you don't have an Uncle Sam's plate, I have it, so I'll throw it on there so we can get a little bit of extra damage. We're going to be breaking blue gems, so we'll make 10 red at the end of the turn to help us hit some more multiplies at the end of it. What we're going to do move-wise is we're going to bring in the Fireman's Carry. We're going to choose 3 blue gems to destroy. This pin bar will not move, teleprompter. We're also going to bring in the Shoot Kicks. We're going to choose a 3x6 area to make it to multiply gems of ×6, and we're going to buff that just a little bit. And it is the Dodge Strike combo that chooses 7 gems to make into blue gems. And we're going to try to utilize this no pin bar move as best we can, make a lot of row breaks. It's kind of funky, and it's actually a really interesting build and way to use it. So a big shout out to Lee Dynasty for helping me come up with this and making it work. You are a genius, my friend. So what we want is purple moves are going to start with more move points. We need that purple move started on turn 1. Increase the multiplies with Matt. We're going to make more blue gems with Zombie Dom. You can also put in King Sheamus for that 12k flat blue gem damage. And you're going to need a Santa Hogan here. The higher up yours is, the more damage obviously this is going to do. But again, gem damage, multiply gem damage. If you have a Memrock, that could also work. Whatever kind of damage you can run with it. So it's going to be kind of funky. Just trust me as we work this out. So a big shout out again to Lee Dynasty for helping me unlock sort of how to do this. I've cascaded several times as I'm trying to explain and putting gems in the wrong places. So this will definitely take more practice on my part to make it actually work, but it does work. And that's one of the really cool parts about it. What we want to do is we want to clip inside the ×8 multiplies that we're making, a red, purple and a green. And if you can get those purples and greens in the same row, even better. Otherwise, it might take a little bit more thinking on your part. And I'll show you how we're going to make the row breaks if the multis ever go down. And there they do. Okay, so what we're going to want to do then, so we want to make, as I said, row breaks that are going to work. So here's a 1, 2, 3, 4 that if this blue drops, it creates a row break. Since our no pin bar move, this one over here, destroys blues, if we destroy this blue gem drops. And that creates the row break that destroys you and destroys you, fills up our moves once again. So our play is to try to create as many of these that are going to fall into a row break that is going to help us destroy more gems. We can also take care of you and you and you. So we can destroy this gem, this falls, destroys the row. We can destroy this blue gem where this falls, and it destroys this row as well too. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So let me show you how that works in practice, which is a little bit harder because you're putting a lot of gems on the board, so it's easy to forget where everything is and you cascading. Last but not least, throw these on the board into the multiplies. Boom. Okay. Now we can play the game. Now we can destroy this gem and watch the two of them. Actually, we need to have them in the same row, so this isn't going to work this time around. I just caught myself. You actually have to have the two in the same row. You'll see what I mean in a second. My apologies. I almost messed this up again. So we're actually only going to destroy this one right here to destroy these two, and we'll destroy that ×8. and then next turn we'll do more damage. So as long as you make them into the same rows, then you're going to have your pin bar. So the no pin bar move destroyed a little bit. We didn't do a lot of damage, but that was my fault for setting it up incorrectly. But at least you can see how to set it up incorrectly these times out. All right, so we're going to put another times 6x3 area. This sets off the pyro plate once again. And this time we're going to do it in the same row. So the bro got it incorrect last time. We'll do it properly this time around. And this time what we're going to do is 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. Okay, so if we take those 4, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. So now when we destroy this one gem here, this drops and destroys the green. This drops and it destroys that purple, and then whatever else we want on the board, or you just don't put anything else on the board. I would suggest put more on the board so that way you can destroy more blue gems. But if you're trying to be careful and if there's a lot of blue gems on the board, it might be better not to do something like that. And so that did over 4 million. And now we're going to get this to go off again with all of our gems. And then it's up to you how you want to play at this point, right? So you can either choose the destroy, or we can just try to go for a really big hit. So usually the third time through, you're going to do a great big smash of gems and just try to hit as many multiply gems as possible. Get a big enough cascade. We got the cascade on the bottom end. So with that extra gem ultimate plate, we did 12 million that third time through. So you can see that there's a way to do this. It does take a little bit of thinking. It does take a little bit of luck with the board, but as long as you run it this way, you should be able to do some damage. So there you have it. There's Logan Paul, the Ultimate Disruptor. Those are the only 2 move sets that I would run for him. I don't think any of the other ones actually work well together, or they do enough damage. So that is the only 2 ways, with the purple, the all triple purple one, or the no pin bar move that I just showed you. Otherwise, he's basically sitting on the bench for me. Not the best poster. I can't see a mode that I would use him in other than for a contest superstar or his training ability, or sorry, his coaching abilities. So let me know what you think in the comments. Give it the old like, subscribe, and share. Big shout out again to Lee Dynasty. And class is over. Brofessor.